Hey guys, I'm going to sit here and do a quick little video over what a doe factory is there. And we're first going to get started on how that usually gets created there. A lot of times it's because you've got a piece of property there that really hasn't been managed a lot in regards to doe harvest there. And what's been allowed is you've got a lot of does that have came through here, especially in the summer months. If you've got a lot of lush green forage form there, and there's been a huge lack of doe harvest, and that typically is your two combinations of why a doe factory gets created there. So really how to control that is, if you're finding yourself in that, probably what you need to do is cut off a lot of that food source. You know, if it's agriculture, I get it. You know, you're going to have a lot of soybeans. You know, agriculture, you really can't go with it. But if you're starting to plant a whole lot of food plots there in the summer months, and you're not shooting a lot of does, that's something that you really need to think about, because what will end up happening is you'll just have a tremendous amount of does on your piece of property, which in turn will actually push off a lot of your big mature bucks on there. So what I typically recommend is harvesting between that 25 to 30% adult does on your herd. And what I will typically do is I'll take a full mile section. So if you've got a piece of property that's smaller than 640 acres there, you need to be contacting your neighbors there, figuring out, you know, hey, how many does do we actually have here? And I'm talking about mama does, you know, the ones that are going to be basically 1.5 on up. And from there, that's when I'm going to come at this and say, I'm going to harvest 25% of them, or us as a hunting group, if you will, we're going to harvest 25% of those does, and in turn that will work out for a great management strategy, not only to keep your deer herd down, but also provide a lot of meat and allow those big mature bucks to feel a lot more comfortable on your piece of property there as you progress into your hunting there. But just keep that in mind there as you get in. You know, I absolutely love planting our Nixa Hardware Summer Giant food plots on several of our pieces of property, but I've strictly managed those, and our buck to doe ratio is very well off. You know, that two does to 1 buck, and then maybe there's a couple of them that may be a little bit higher, 3 to 1. But you know, at the start of that, there's some of those properties that may be 10, 15, 20 does to 1 buck, and that's where this really can come into play with creating that doe factory. Pushes your deer, your big mature bucks off of there until that rutting time period, and it just creates a really non-luxury hunting piece of property that way. So just a few things to keep in mind in regards to how a doe factory gets created, how you can get that corrected, not only by planting less food there and management of your deer herd. Then once you have those deer herd numbers back to where you want as a, per section there, that's when you can start coming back in here, putting your food plots in during the summer, and then continue to go ahead and harvest those does to keep that that 2 to 1, 3 to 1 ratio there in the fall hunting time period. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like always, hopefully you guys are getting out there in nature. Yep. And like always, best luck on your upcoming hunt.